welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 Kill Teams Battle Report brought to you by the Legion Wargaming. In a follow-up to our last Grey Knights Battle Report, today we are on the planet of Therion Beta, a sparsely populated Imperial world 2.7 light years from the world of Tarak 4, on which the Grey Knights of the Fourth Brotherhood captured a known heretic psyker known as the Father of Illumination, performing a daring nemesis strike in the face of an orc horde rampaging across the planet's surface. But the night strike cruiser, the Wrath of Titan, drifts dead in orbit around this planet, for as they dropped out of the warp to use the telepathic relay station at Therion Proxima, a dark Eldar cruiser struck, crippling the Wrath of Titan and forcing the few surviving knights to perform emergency teleportation rites and escape to the surface. But the Dark Eldar are determined to leave none of their prey alive and have sent Kabalite hunters to the surface to find and slay the remaining sons of Titan. And as the sun sets, night falls. The battle today is a kill teams game, Grey Knights versus Dark Eldar. Today it is 300 points and the mission is Alone in the Dark. Let's take a look at the kill teams. This 300-point Dark Eldar kill team is led by a Cyberite. He has a blast pistol and a power sword, and his leader trait has been there, seen it, done it. That has made him a dirty fighter, giving him Fleshbane. And with his high initiative and a power sword, wounding on 2+ could be very dangerous against the Grey Knights. And he has brought a squad of warriors with him. We have 3 warriors with splinter rifles and a warrior with a blaster. He is a weapons specialist, his blaster is master crafted, and this squad have brought along a Venom as a dedicated transport. The second troop's choice is another squad of Kabalite warriors. They are led by a Cyberite. He has a blast pistol. 1 warrior has a blaster, and there are 3 more warriors with splinter rifles. And the final choice is a squad of 5 Hellions. They have a specialist. He is a combat specialist and he has rage. They also have another specialist. He's a guerrilla fighter. He has preferred enemy. And of course there are 3 more Hellions as well. These are the Dark Eldar. The mission is Alone in the Dark. It should be ideal for them. Let's take a look at the Grey Knights. This 300-point Grey Knights kill team consists of a single strike squad and 1 interceptor squad, and their leader is the Justicar of the strike squad. He has a Nemesis Force halberd and he has a very appropriate leader trait. He has an unshakable devotion to duty, giving him Zealot. And there are of course 4 other Grey Knights in his squad, 2 with Nemesis Force halberds and another with a Nemesis Force halberd who is also a weapon specialist. His Stormbolter has ignores cover. And we have 1 brother with a Psy Cannon. He is an indomitable specialist. He has Relentless, which should come in very handy with his Psy Cannon. And the Justicar of the Interceptors, who is equipped with a Nemesis Force Stave, is also a specialist. He is a combat specialist, giving him Rage, and he has 3 Interceptors equipped with Nemesis Force halberds, and the final brother of his squad has an Incinerator. These are the Grey Knights. They are fighting for survival as we move into deployment. And the kill teams have deployed, and sensing they are closing in on their prey, the Dark Eldar are moving in. We have a Hellion over on this flank. He is supported by 1 Kabalite warrior and the Dark Eldar leader moving up in the Venom. We have a Hellion in the centre. He is a specialist. He has Rage. He is supported by 2 warriors advancing through the trees. We have another Hellion moving past the ruin Manufactorum and through the ruins. We have 1 Dark Eldar warrior with a blaster. He's a specialist. His blaster is mastercrafted. And we have 1 more Dark Eldar warrior moving alongside him as well. Outflanking, the Dark Eldar have the other Cyberite. They have 1 warrior with a blaster, 2 more warriors, 1 Hellion, and the specialist Hellion, who is the guerrilla fighter. Meanwhile, the Grey Knights are advancing cautiously. Over on this flank, we have the specialist from the strike squad. His Stormbolter has ignores cover. He is supported by the Interceptor with the Incinerator. Lugging his Psy Cannon forward in the centre, we have the indomitable specialist from the strike squad, and we have another brother from the strike squad moving alongside him through the trees. The Justicar of the Interceptors with his Force Stave. He is looking to leap forward, as are two other members of his squad, with their nemesis force halberds outflanking. The Grey Knights have their leader, one member of the strike squad and one member of the interceptor squad. This is an objective based game. The objectives have been placed. We have one here, we have one on top of this rocky rise and one near the ruined industrial buildings. The Dark Eldar deployed first, but with the roll of a 6, the Grey Knights have seized the initiative. Have the hunters become the hunted? Well, at least night fighting is in effect for this entire battle. Let's see what the Grey Knights can do. Grey Knights, turn 1. End of Grey Knights movement phase, turn 1, and this brother has advanced. He's still taking cover in the trees, but he is ready to open fire with his Stormbolter. Meanwhile, hearing the low-pitched sound of anti-grav engines, the interceptor with the incinerator has sensed an opportunity. He has triggered his warp jump generator and shunted forwards. He is preparing to unleash it all over the Dark Eldar venom and, crucially, their leader. If he can take him out straight away, that could earn first blood and slay the warlord. That would certainly have the Dark Eldar reeling. Meanwhile, the rest of the Grey Knights are advancing. The brother with the side cannon is moving forwards. He is supported by the other strike squad member, and all 3 of the interceptors on this flank have moved forward 12, suffering no ill effects from their dangerous terrain checks. They are all ready, their storm bolters, for a punishing volley of fire. It looks very much like the Grey Knights have caught the Dark Eldar out here. Let's see how they get on in their first shooting phase. End of Grey Knight shooting phase, turn 1, and the Knights of Titan have struck. This brother, who is the weapon specialist with ignores cover, easily cut down the Hellion that was approaching, earning first blood for the Knights of Titan, and this brother unleashed his incinerator over the venom. The venom itself was unharmed, but the Dark Eldar's leader has been reduced to a smouldering pile of ash. That is slay the leader. The Grey Knights, with their first 2 shots, managed to rack up 2 victory points. Meanwhile, this brother opened fire with his side cannon. He got 3 wounding hits against this Hellion in the centre, but when he rolled his cover saves, he got triple 6. Behind this rocky outcrop, this brother could not draw line of sight to any of the Dark Eldar, so he ran forwards 3 inches, and then the Justicar and this interceptor opened fire on another Hellion. They could not take him down, but finally the last brother in the squad right over on the far right flank managed to take him out with a well-placed bolt round. That has been a very impressive opening display from the Grey Knights. Their only disappointment is this Hellion in the centre survived, but they have racked up 2 victory points with no assaults. That brings their first turn to a close. The Dark Eldar are reeling. Let's see how they respond. Dark Eldar, turn 1. End of Dark Eldar movement phase, turn 1, and although losing the initiative really put them on the back foot, the Dark Eldar are moving swiftly to rescue the situation. This brother with an incinerator has now found himself in a crossfire as 2 Dark Eldar warriors are closing in on him. Meanwhile, over his head flies the venom. It has its splinter cannon pointed squarely at this weapon specialist. In the centre, the very lucky Hellion specialist is moving forward. The Dark Eldar really want to take out this Psi cannon as quickly as possible. He's going to open fire with his splinter pods, maybe even follow it up with a charge, although there is, of course, some risk involved in that. Meanwhile, these warriors over here are advancing through the ruins. They're holding this objective now. They're going to open fire with their splinter weaponry, and the specialist with his blaster is moving into the ruined body of this building. He is in range of the nearest interceptor. Let's see if the Dark Eldar can hit back as hard as they have been hit by the Grey Knights. Dark Eldar shooting phase, turn 1. End of Dark Eldar shooting phase, turn 1, and their counter-strike has hit back hard. Although these 2 warriors only managed to inflict a single hit on the Grey Knight with the incinerator, it managed to take him out, and with a massive volley of splinter fire from its splinter cannon, the weapon specialist next to this tree was torn to pieces. In the centre, this Hellion only managed a single wounding hit on the brother with the Psy Cannon, but once again it was enough. He has gone down as well. It was only over on the far side of the battlefield where the Grey Knight's armour held. This Interceptor was hit by 2 splinter shots from the warriors, but made both of his saves, and although the weapon specialist hit with his blaster, he rolled a 1 to wound. Still, the Grey Knights are wondering if their emergency rights or teleportation have affected the integrity of their power armour. They have lost 3 brothers in the Dark Eldar's opening volley, and there were not very many Grey Knights to start with. With no assaults, that brings Dark Eldar turn 1 to a close. Let's see how the Grey Knights respond, and if any more brothers turn up in Grey Knights turn 2. Start of Grey Knights turn 2, and as the roar of bolter fire echoes through the night, 2 more Grey Knights have found their way to this battlefield. The leader has emerged from this flank. He is in a good position to attack these Dark Eldar warriors from behind, and over on the other flank, one of the interceptors has teleported in. Looks like he is preparing to gun down this Kabalite warrior as we go into Grey Knight's movement phase, turn 2. End of Grey Knight's movement phase, turn 2, and this brother has advanced up onto this central rocky outcrop. He is desperate to cut down this Hellion specialist. He is also in a position to hold the central objective, and sensing that they have these Dark Eldar caught in a crossfire thanks to the arrival of the Strike Squad's Justicar, the interceptors have leapt forward. This brother's moved forward 12. He is intending to take out this warrior, and in the building itself another interceptor has leapt forward. He is in a good position to open fire and then charge the specialist with the blaster. Meanwhile, the Justicar has also moved forward 12. He can add supporting fire against the Dark Eldar in these ruins, or he can even take a couple of shots at this Hellion. Looks like the Grey Knights could once again inflict a lot of damage on the Dark Eldar this turn. Let's see, Grey Knight shooting phase, turn 2. End of Grey Knight shooting phase, turn 2, and the newly arrived interceptor calmly executed the Kabalite warrior with a volley of fire from his Stormbolter, and this brother managed to get 2 wounding hits with his Stormbolter on the Hellion specialist. The first cover save was yet another 6, but the final roll was a 1, and he has gone down. This brother managed to take out the Kabalite warrior next to these barricades with his Stormbolter, but neither the Interceptor Justicar nor this Interceptor managed to get a single wounding hit on the warrior with the blaster, but they are preparing to charge. Meanwhile, the newly arrived leader got 2 wounding hits on this warrior with his Stormbolter, but the Dark Eldar made both his cover saves thanks to night fighting. The Grey Knights do seem to be inflicting a lot of damage on the Kabalites here. Let's see if these interceptors can make their charge in Grey Knight's assault phase, turn 2. End of Grey Knight's assault phase, turn 2, and the first interceptor was badly caught out as, with lightning swift reflexes, the Dark Eldar raised his blaster and blew him to pieces thanks to the reroll to hit granted by Master Crafted, but that did not save him from the charging Justicar, who, with his nemesis Force Stave combined with Rage, smashed the Dark Eldar into a bloody pulp. That brings Grey Knight's turn 2 to a close. They're in a good position. They got first blood. They have achieved slay the leader. They are also in a good position for these 2 objectives, but the Dark Eldar have a lot of reserves to roll for as we go into Dark Eldar turn 2. Start of Dark Eldar turn 2, and it looks very much like the leader of the Grey Knights was being pursued already, as emerging behind him we have the Cyberite with a blast pistol, 1 warrior with a blaster, and another warrior as well. The Dark Eldar have been strongly bolstered amidst the ruins of this Manufactorum. Meanwhile, weaving through the trees on the other flank, a Hellion has arrived, and he is making straight for this interceptor. Let's see what the rest of the Dark Eldar do. Dark Eldar movement phase, turn 2. End of Dark Eldar movement phase, turn 2, and this warrior is moving to help out the newly arrived Hellion against this interceptor. Meanwhile, the Venom has cruised up onto the top of this rocky outcrop. He is going to bring all of his weaponry to bear against this brother. That could see the end of him. Meanwhile, This warrior has held position. Now he has been reinforced. He is happy to unleash a hail of splinter fire. The Dark Eldar are hoping to break the Grey Knights in the next phase, which is Dark Eldar shooting phase turn 2. End of Dark Eldar shooting phase turn 2, and this interceptor managed to survive the 2 hits inflicted on him by the Hellion and the approaching Dark Eldar warrior. Neither could penetrate his power armor, but the 5 wounding hits that the Venom got on the brother on this rocky outcrop was more than enough to take him out in a hail of splinter fire. Both warriors with their splinter rifles over here targeted the interceptor Justicar, but could not take him out. But bad news for the Grey Knights, as the newly arrived Cyberite obliterated their leader with a shot from his blast pistol. This Dark Eldar warrior managed to hit and wound with his blaster against this interceptor, but he made his cover safe thanks to the intervening barricades. But that is very bad news for the Grey Knights. Their leader is down. That's a victory point for the Dark Eldar. Perhaps even worse news, with only 3 brothers left on the table and 1 in reserve. The Grey Knights kill team is broken. That's another victory point for the Dark Eldar, and it looks like the last few Grey Knights, who are seriously outnumbered, are going to have an uphill struggle from here. Let's see what they do. Grey Knights turn 3. Start of Grey Knight's turn 3, and the final Grey Knight has arrived. Stepping over the corpse of his Justicar, the final member of the strike squad is moving forward with vengeance in his heart. He is clearly going to be targeting these Dark Eldar clustered around his leader's body. And good news for the Grey Knights, unsurprisingly, none of them have fled this fight. They are all in it until the death, it seems. Grey Knight's movement phase turn 3. End of Grey Knight's movement phase turn 3, and witnessing the death of their leader first hand, these 2 interceptors have decided vengeance is the order of the day. The Justicar is striding purposefully forwards towards this Dark Eldar warrior in cover, and the other interceptor has triggered his warp jump generator. He has leapt forward. He wants to take out this Dark Eldar with the blaster. Meanwhile, on his own, across the other side of the battlefield in the trees, this interceptor is marching towards this Hellion. Let's see what the Grey Knights can do. Grey Knight shooting phase turn 3. End of Grey Knight shooting phase turn 3, and this interceptor managed 2 hits and 2 wounds on this Hellion with his Stormbolter, but the first was saved on a 6 thanks to night fighting, and the second was saved on a 5 thanks to feel no pain granted by power from pain. Meanwhile, the interceptor Justicar managed to cut down the Dark Eldar warrior in cover with a volley from his Stormbolter, but this interceptor managed to get a single wounding hit on this Dark Eldar with the blaster, but once again Feel No Pain saved him, and the single wounding hit that this Grey Knight got on the Cyberite was saved on a 6 thanks to night fighting. This has been a very disappointing phase for the Grey Knights. They only need 1 more casualty to break this Dark Eldar kill team, but they are more than likely to get it as we go into Grey Knight's assault phase turn 3. End of Grey Knight's assault phase turn 3, and as this interceptor charged, the Hellion calmly opened fire with his splinter pods, cutting the Grey Knight down. And over on the far side of the battlefield, this interceptor made it in to the Dark Eldar with a blaster. The Overwatch shot missed, and the Dark Eldar's attack could do nothing. He swung his halberd, inflicting a wound, but once again Feel No Pain saved the Dark Eldar. That is a disaster for the Grey Knights. They were really hoping to break the Dark Eldar and even the numbers up by having some of them flee. It was not to be. The Dark Eldar remain unbroken, and Grey Knights turn 3 has been a disaster for them. Let's see if it gets worse for the Sons of Titan as we go into Dark Eldar turn 3. Start of Dark Eldar turn 3, and things are not looking good for the Grey Knights as the final 2 Dark Eldar have arrived. This warrior has moved on from this side of the battlefield. He has decided the best thing he can do is advance into these ruins and hold on for Linebreaker. Meanwhile, the specialist Hellion has arrived. He is the guerrilla fighter with preferred enemy, and he is swooping in low to take on the Grey Knights over this side. There are a lot of Dark Eldar closing in on them, as we go into Dark Eldar movement phase, turn 3. End of Dark Eldar movement phase, turn 3, and as this warrior moves purposefully up this rocky slope towards this objective, this Hellion is moving as quickly as possible to get back into the fight. The Venom has moved over to hold this objective, and it is training its splinter cannon on this Grey Knight, while these Dark Eldar, the Cyberite with his blast pistol, this warrior with his splinter rifle, and of course the newly arrived Hellion with his splinter pod, are all looking to cut down the Justicar. Meanwhile, this warrior remains locked in combat. Let's see what the Dark Eldar do. Dark Eldar shooting phase, turn 3. End of Dark Eldar shooting phase, turn 3, and this Kabalite warrior ran 6 inches down into this gully to hold this objective, and this Hellion also ran trying to get towards the action. The Venom opened fire with its splinter cannon, but was disappointed as all of its shots pinged harmlessly off of this Grey Knight's power armour, and this warrior and the newly arrived Hellion could not take out the Interceptor Justicar. It took the fire of the Cyberite with his blast pistol to take the Grey Knight down. That is a disappointing phase for the Dark Eldar. Let's see if this combat resolves in Dark Eldar Assault phase, turn 3. End of Dark Eldar Assault phase, turn 3, and neither the Dark Eldar warrior with his blaster nor the Interceptor with his Nemesis Force Halberd could hit the other. This combat remains ongoing as we go into Grey Knight's turn 4. End of Grey Knight's movement phase, turn 4, and at the start of their 4th turn, neither of the 2 surviving Grey Knights gave any thought to fleeing. They are looking to take out as many aliens as possible, but with this brother locked in combat, the only movement came from this last remaining member of the strike squad. He is moving to take on the Dark Eldar Cyberite as we go into Grey Knight shooting phase, turn 4. End of Grey Knight shooting phase, turn 4, and this Grey Knight opened fire with his Stormbolter, cutting down the Cyberite, and that has finally broken this Dark Eldar kill team. Has that given the Grey Knights a chance? If some of the other Dark Eldar decide it's time to slink back into the shadows, we shall see. First we have an ongoing assault in Grey Knight's Assault phase, turn 4. End of Grey Knight's Assault phase, turn 4, and with a 6 to hit and a 6 to wound, followed by a 1 to save, this Dark Eldar warrior with a blaster has taken out the Interceptor before he got a chance to strike, and that leaves this Grey Knight as the sole surviving son of Titan in this game, just when it looked like the Grey Knights were in with a sliver of a chance. Things have turned against them once again. This brother's only hope is that a lot of the Dark Eldar decide to flee as we go into Dark Eldar turn 4. Start of Dark Eldar turn 4, and unfortunately for this Grey Knight, the only Dark Eldar that decided to flee was, strangely, the Dark Eldar warrior with the blaster who just killed the Interceptor. It is a lot of Dark Eldar all focusing their attention on one Grey Knight as we go into Dark Eldar movement phase, turn 4. End of Dark Eldar movement phase, turn 4, and the only movement has come from the Hellions as this Hellion has dodged his way around the trees. He's now holding this objective and preparing to open fire with his splinter pods against the last surviving Grey Knight. This specialist Hellion has moved down to open fire as well. This Dark Eldar warrior has not moved. He is preparing to rapid fire his splinter rifle. Meanwhile, this Venom is still in range with its splinter cannon. It is holding this objective, and the last 2 Dark Eldar warriors are happy where they are as well. This warrior holding this objective in the gully, and this warrior in a line breaker position. Let's see if this Grey Knight can survive a lot of splinter fire coming his way in Dark Eldar shooting phase, turn 4. End of Dark Eldar shooting phase, turn 4, and the Hellions are left disappointed as, with a huge volley of splinter fire from its splinter cannon, the Venom has cut down the last Grey Knight at long range, and that is the end of the Grey Knights, and it also brings this kill team's game to a close. The Grey Knights managed to get first blood. They also managed to slay the leader and break the enemy. That is all. They have 3 points. The Dark Eldar, they managed to slay the leader. They also got break the enemy, and thanks to this warrior, they have line breaker as well. But the Dark Eldar are holding this objective with this warrior, this objective with the Venom and this objective with this Hellion. That gives the Dark Eldar 6 points. The final score is 6 points to the Dark Eldar, 3 points to the Grey Knights. The Grey Knights are no more. And we think this has been a very, very interesting game. The Dark Eldar were certainly helped out by night fighting, and power from pain also proved decisive. The Grey Knights looked like they were going to seize the advantage early on thanks to seize the initiative, but the Dark Eldar fought back very hard. They were excellent with their splinter weaponry, and they have been very mobile as usual as well. This has been a very fun game. We really enjoy these kill team battle reports. We'd also like to give the Heralds of Ruin kill team rules a go as well. Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, and we will keep producing as many Warhammer 40,000 battle reports as we can. See ya!